Good afternoon. We have a partly to mostly clear night ahead of us with a low near 28 Sioux Falls, 25 in Aberdeen, 30 in Pierre, and 32 in Rapid City. Tomorrow, partly cloudy in eastern KELOLAND and temperatures slightly cooler than today with a high near 44 Sioux Falls, 40 in Aberdeen, a breezy 51 in Pierre, and a windy 53 in Rapid City. We have warmer temperatures on the way for the weekend. We'll take a closer look coming up. KELOLAND's First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, First at 4.
A massive outage affecting cellular customers. What we know about the problem coming up.
Plus, South Dakota lawmakers considered a bill that would change South Dakota's ballot question process. Why Democrats are taking issue with the legislation.
And we will take a look at new research on the gender pay gap in Minnesota. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. A Rapid City man remains behind bars accused of killing a woman.
64-year-old Brent Kurtzman is charged with first-degree murder and first-degree arson. He's accused of killing 54-year-old Julie Fisk on Tuesday and then starting a fire. Few other details have been released in the case. Kurtzman is scheduled to be back in court next month. Meanwhile, police in Rapid City are investigating a Wednesday night shooting that left a woman dead. Officers were called around 7 o'clock last night to the area of Pine Street and North Street. They found a woman who had been shot. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. Detectives are still working to figure out what happened.
AT&T says it's restored wireless coverage after an outage knocked out cell phone service on its network across the country for hours. The problem began this morning and appeared to mostly impact customers with AT&T. According to data from Down Detector, AT&T had more than 73,000 reported incidents at the peak of the outage.
I realized it when I was walking to the bus and then to the train. Walking to the train from the house, it's like, all right, I got to go to work this morning, and then all of a sudden my service just cuts out. Check my phone, it's like, what's going on? I see an SOS. Now I can't even use my GPS, my music, call my wife, tell her where I'm going to be.
AT&T said it was working quickly to restore service to remaining customers while encouraging those who still don't have service to use Wi-Fi calling. Customers with T-Mobile and Verizon also reported issues, but both companies say they did not experience an outage.
All right, well, let's get a check of the forecast because it's another nice day out there.
Yeah, I did a little walking downtown today. It was beautiful and sunny, Megan.
That it is, Kelly. We have that sunshine all around KELOLAND, but we are also experiencing an outage with some of our current conditions. So we don't know. We had to ask the National Weather Service what our current conditions were here in Sioux Falls. Right now at about 52 degrees with that sunshine and those winds about 10 to 20 miles an hour. It's much of the same in Rapid City, also about 52 degrees and northwest wind at about 10 to 20 miles an hour with mostly sunny skies. Here's a look at our temperatures from earlier this morning, and we did warm up since then, but we are starting to cool back as we head through the afternoon. Our winds from about the same time just before noon at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Those winds did pick up in western South Dakota. Those will continue dying down as we head through this evening and into tonight. Hardly any clouds are showing up on our satellite this afternoon, and we are expecting partly cloudy skies by the overnight hours and to start the day tomorrow. So for tonight, partly to mostly clear skies, the winds dying down just slightly. 28 are low in Sioux Falls, 25 in Aberdeen, 30 in Pierre, and 32 in Rapid City. Then for the day tomorrow, partly cloudy skies in eastern KELOLAND, lighter winds, our temperatures slightly cooler than today. 44 the high in Sioux Falls, 40 in Aberdeen. Mostly sunny, 51 in Pierre, but that stronger wind kicks back up, and the stronger northwest wind in Rapid City as well, mostly sunny and 53. Then on Saturday, we do have that stronger wind sticking around with mostly sunny skies, and warmer temperatures are back for everyone. 55 in Sioux Falls, 58 Saturday's high in Aberdeen and in Pierre, 60 in Rapid City. We have even warmer temperatures on the way for Sunday, even near record temperatures on Monday before a cool down with a chance of snow on Tuesday. We'll take a closer look at all of that in just a little bit.
Thanks, Megan. Minnesota is the national leader for women in the workforce, but they still make less than men do. That's according to new research out of the University of Minnesota. Caroline Cummings digs into the data.
This report is really meant to be a tool for action.
Every 2 years, researchers at the University of Minnesota and the Women's Foundation of Minnesota team up and dive deep into how women are faring in our state, from their health to their economic well-being.
We know that their economic success is directly tied to the well-being of children and families.
The 2024 report, presented to a panel of lawmakers at the Capitol Monday, shows that overall women make 81 cents for every $1 a white man makes, and it's even less for women of color.
Researchers say one contributing factor is what they call occupational segregation, meaning more women work lower wage jobs.
It just so happens that those jobs that are paid better happen to be male dominated, and those that are paid worse are female dominated.
Dr. Christina Ewig, director for the Center on Women, Gender, and Public Policy at the University of Minnesota, says the pay gap has been mostly stagnant in more than a decade of research. Another factor, women are more likely than men to work part-time or take time off from work due to caregiving responsibilities. And affordable childcare is out of reach for many. The report finding a staggering 94% of Minnesota families spend far more of their paychecks on childcare than what the federal government recommends, which is 7% of their income. Paying for an infant to go to a childcare center costs more than a University of Minnesota in-state tuition. But the legislature can enact some solutions to close pay gaps. Ewig says one of them could be a pay transparency law.
It also helps workers to know that the disparities exist so they can do a better job of advocating for themselves.
At the Capitol, Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
Minnesota also has the third largest racial wealth gap in the U.S.